This is the Story Slot. In each episode, we bring you traditional stories with light dramatisation. This is the story of the straw, the coal, and the bean. This story was originally published around 1812 by the Brothers Grimm. The Brothers Grimm, Jacob and Wilhelm, were born in Germany in the 1780s. They were learned academics, best known for collecting and publishing European folk stories. Their collected stories are known by different names throughout the world, and have dropped in and out of popularity over the years. These works are perhaps best recognised through the many adaptations rather than in their first published form. Among the more famous of these may be Walt Disney's interpretations of Grimm's tales, such as Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, and even Disney's first full-length feature, Snow White. And now, without further ado, we bring you the story of the straw, the coal, and the bean.
Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a poor old woman. She did not have much to eat, so she had gathered together a dish of beans. She decided to cook them and make them into a stew. So she gathered up some coals in her hearth and added some straw, and soon she had a good, strong fire to cook over. When she was emptying the beans into the pan to cook, one dropped out, but she didn't notice. It lay on the ground, beside a straw, and soon a burning coal from the fire leapt down to join them.
"Dear friends, where have you come from?"
I was lucky to spring out of the fire. If I had not escaped by force, I would have been burnt to ashes.
I too am lucky to have escaped with a whole skin. For if the old woman had got me into the pan, I would have been made into a stew, without mercy, like all my friends.
"What about me? The old woman has destroyed all my friends in the fire and smoke. She grabbed up 60 of us at once and took their lives, just like that. I was lucky to slip through her fingers."
But what do we do now?
I think we should stay together and be friends, since we have all been so lucky. And I don't like it around here. It's too dangerous. We should go away together, far away.
I like the sound of that.
"Yes, I agree."
So they set out on their way together. It was not long before they came to a little brook. There was no bridge for them to cross by, not even a plank.
How are we going to cross?
"I have an idea. I shall lay across the brook, and you can walk across me like a bridge."
So the straw stretched itself from one bank to the other. Now the coal, who was rather impetuous by nature, skipped across boldly. But as she reached the middle, and the water was rushing beneath her, she was afraid after all. She stood still and would venture no further. The straw began to burn, for the coal was still hot from the fire. Suddenly the straw broke in two and fell into the stream. The coal fell after, hissed when she hit the water, and breathed her last. The bean, who had cautiously waited on the shore, could not help but laugh when she saw this. She laughed so heartily that she burst. It would have been all over for her too, but just then a tailor sat down to rest by the brook, for he was weary from travelling.
What have we here? A broken bean? Don't worry, little bean. I shall fix you.
And he took out his needle and thread and sewed her back together.
"Oh, thank you, sir."
Now, the tailor had used black thread to mend the little bean, and that is why, to this day, All the beans have a black seam.
You've just heard the story of the straw, the coal and the bean. It was adapted and narrated by Jane Grandle, who also played the straw. The coal was played by Kelsey Griffin and the bean by Tal Minnear. Additional voices were provided by Jamie Dyer. This is The Story Slot from J. Dyer Productions.